This is where the law stops. And I start. Sucker.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Swallow this.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Another episode of the Arrow in the Head show. I'd be Velchuk, that would be Fallon, the Arrow, Mr. John. How you doing, buddy? Long
good.
time no see. Been a couple days.
Trying to pour a proper pour. I'm pretty pumped. We are going to talk about one of my favorite movies ever. In depth, uncensored. But before then, and then again, if it's water or a Red Bull, kill you. What are you drinking?
We record this. It goes live on Friday. Sunday's the Super Bowl. I'm not really into that, really. Obviously, it's probably no surprise by looking at me. But my neighbor, he's this awesome old tough guy. And he's from Jersey, but he loves the Packers. And so he's always just giving me shit. But he gave me a beer. He goes,
Woohoo! Lance got
Super
a
Bowl
beer.
Sunday. Yeah. It's because he knows I'm from Chicago, so he's like, I got you. He's like, Goose Island. I was like, you're very sweet. Okay, the best, man. So it's called Bourbon Country. It's a bourbon barrel stout, so it's going to be a high percentage, which is important to me. So we got a stout.
Very cool.
What about you, buddy?
Well, we kind of, park our cars in the same garage in this respect. Being that we're going to talk about la creme de la creme of action horror movies, I figured I'd get la creme of Irish beer. Guinness.
I go Guinness. Nice.
Guinness. I love Guinness, man. Actually, one of the hardest part during the pandemic for me, when we were in lockdown and bars were closed and everything, is I just wanted a pint of Guinness. And then when they opened it up and we were allowed to get out of our house within certain time frames, whatever, I'd go to the store to try to find Guinnesses in a can, and they didn't have it. And a Guinness in a can is not the same as a Guinness in a pub.
But it'll do in a pinch if you're looking for like a
Exactamundo.
Right.
So it's Cobra. If it's Cobra, it must be Guinness.
I thought it'd be Coors, honestly, but okay.
So on that, cheers to you, my man. Cheers to all of you. Let's talk 80s macho, no bullshit, no frills, fucking Cobra.
Hello, my friend! Hey!
So, I could easily run with the show by myself. So I'm going to be polite. And I'm going to say, Lance, what is your relationship with Stallone's Cobra?
Different than yours. I didn't grow up with this. So this is important because you and me talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever broken this down, but I view my life in like 3 different chunks. Like, birth to, I would say, 8th grade. And that I think is my building blocks of horror. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's where I just took everything in, regardless what was there, and just kind of melted on it. High school was like, I was an independent guy. So I was reading The Arrow in the Head. I was driving off to go see High Tension in Joliet, which is a disgusting place. I was like venturing on my own, finding Korean horror and stuff like that. My 20s were more reflective. In my 30s, I'm at peace. So the reason I bring that up is that I actually didn't grow up with Cobra at all. I probably didn't see it until end of high school, which is strange because I actually really liked Stallone, but this was not one of them. I don't know. It's just right over my head, I guess. And so the reason I bring that up is that I always, every time I've seen this movie, I enjoy it more because it's such an interesting beast. I don't think it always works, but I love, I think the heart in this. And I think this entire movie to me is the building block of a character that I think the best movie would have been the second one. Does that make sense? Yeah. I think this entire movie is building up who Cobra is for him to go on his next adventure. And it's like, man, that's the adventure I wanted.
The final result was not the initial intent.
Which from you, actually, I think I've heard stuff online, which is I'm going to let you get into that because before I get into more of what I think, that has a lot to do with, I think, the bizarreness of it. But listen, Stallone, cheesy as it is so fucking cool in this because it's like the epitome of that like 80s cool. Glasses, matchstick, gloves, jacket, fucking cool car,
White
awesome
fucking
guns.
jeans and the
I
fucking
love it. I love
boots.
it, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So, but-
it's machismo, it's macho energy, all put into one character. You cannot have, I don't care, Dirty Harry, fucking Malone, Burt Reynolds, great fucking man. You cannot have more macho, more old school testosterone fuel, hard ass than Stallone and Cobra.
Can't do that.
Why?
I don't deal with psychos.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I mean, the reason I find this movie so charming is that they really give him everything, and they develop it like respectably. It's like you spend the whole movie, it's essentially his origin story to the audience. But I mean, and he's also not only is all that, but you'd assume, okay, he's just going to be a rogue detective. No, he's like in some weird Blackwater type of organization the LAPD calls in to essentially do the
zombie
illegal
squad,
dirty work.
the zombie squad.
Like, so he's also like a weird mercenary. It's like, man, just keep at it. He's also banging the supermodel.
Of course. Angel of the City, baby. I love one line that he says where he's talking with like the police, like in the police station, and he says, no, as long as we have to go by these bullshit rules and the killers don't, we're gonna lose. And I'm like, bravo. Right here. I never thought I would find something that would move me emotionally in Cobra, but I did. That was the bit. And he's absolutely fucking right. So I guess it's a very like Reagan era, I guess, to some degree, kind of, oh, there's bad guys, let's just kill them.
This character does have that sort of like Charles Bronson Death Wish thing where he's cleaning up the streets in his own way. Like it has that. But though Cobra has a little more of a code, but like you're right though. In the end, that whole last amazing line, which I wrote down, hold on, is that's the best thing in the world.
The law stops and I start sucking.
Dude, I completely forgot about that fucking line. Completely. Can you imagine? It was like I just lost my chair here. I was just like, what? I paused it. I rewound it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Because there's that pause where it's like, this is where the law stops and I start. And I thought that's the line.
You gotta
it's
remember
like,
to sucker.
Beep, and it goes, sucker. And I was like, ah! What the fuck? It's like, that's when he did. He's like, because he's trying to beg him. He's like, gotta take me in, pig. You gotta take me in. And Cobra's, he's thinking in his head. It's like, he wants to do it. And then that was the time where he's like, and he goes and kills the guy. And the most, I hope we will get to the ending because that is the most macho thing in the world. I love when they end in lava factories because clearly those are somewhere in America where you just make lava that is just shooting everywhere. And I was like, oh man, yeah. But sorry, I'm hijacking this now because.
Oh, it's all good. Actually, let me, I'm sure a lot of you guys and dolls know this, and maybe you know as well, Lance. I know you're not as educated as our audience, but Cobra, nice, touche. I give some, I get back. Cobra actually started off when Stallone got hired to be in Beverly Hills Cop before Eddie Murphy. And he came in and started, rewriting the script. And, as they went forward with Paramount, Paramount realized Stallone doesn't really want to do an action comedy. Shit was getting
he made it all dark, right?
Oh, yeah. He made it darker and darker and darker and more action. And finally, Paramount said that, he was inflating the budget with his rewrites and they parted ways. And which was a great thing to happen because we had Eddie Murphy as Alex Foley in Beverly Hills Cop, which was, a great franchise.
History was made, yeah.
Well, the first two anyways, on its own. And then Stallone took all of his ideas for Beverly Hills Cop and started to create Cobra. He also inspired himself from a novel by Paula Goslin called Fair Game, which was also made as a film after Cobra with William Baldwin and Cindy Crawford. So Cobra and the movie Fair Game is also based on the novel by Paula Goslin called Fair Game. Although from what I know of the novel, Cobra doesn't have much to do with it other than police has to protect, a woman who witnessed a crime. That's pretty much it.
He made this his own, right?
Exactly.
Big thing, yeah.
So then, Stallone went in and ghost directed Cobra, much like he ghost directed Rambo 2, the same director, George P. Cosmatos, and it shows, if you know Stallone's eye, it shows from the montage, of him loading up, and the sound, and da-dum, and the bikes coming in, and the grenades, and go.
Can I ask you, real quick, because I remember you saying that before.
Yeah.
Because we talked about Cobra briefly at a past episode, it's just like a montage. But I wrote down, and I want to ask you about this. It actually had a lot of like the same edits and sort of transitions as Rocky 4.
Yeah. So they had the first cut. It got an X rating by the MPAA. So Warner Brothers and Canon went about. I mean, it was right now. It's an 86 minute movie. The initial cut was 40 minutes longer. 40 minutes longer. So more violence, more character development. Movie. Yeah, more character development. They even had an ending. I'm not sure they shot it or not. I think they shot it. Where Monty, the guy with the glasses, that the cop that's against him.
Yeah, the guy from Hellraiser.
Yeah, that's it. Andrew Robinson. At the end, they open up his shirt and he has like a pentagram, some shit. So he was an inside informer for the bad guys. He was part of the bad guys. They had that twist at the end. I'm very happy they didn't go with it because it's kind of shitty. But
especially because the girl's also there, so it's
yeah, exactly.
Like, just have her be. It makes more sense.
Exactly. Studio decided to chop the night of the living shit out of it, and we got what we got. There's been a work print that was floating around. I know there's the TV version has some of the.
Oh, they had some.
Yeah, as some of the cutout footage because they cut out some of the violence, so they had to pad it up with some of the uncut footage. So I have a video somewhere where it has a bunch of deleted scenes, but whatever. I've given up on ever seeing the uncut version of Cobra after Scream Factory put it out. If they can't find it good, nobody will. But what we have, and I've watched it again recently, is a no frills. There's actually, and that's not, it's a good thing, but it's also a bit of a bad thing. But as it is, there's zero fat on this fucking movie, dude. There's zero fat. It moves and moves and moves and moves and never stops, man. I think the most fat we have is him cutting a pizza with scissors and his gloves and watching a Toys R Us commercial, which is fucking classic. Actually, speaking of classic, that scene when he shows up. See, that's what I'm talking about. Machismo, man. He shows up to park his car, and there's these Latino. Yeah,
they're supposed to be. I don't know the exact name, but yeah, it was like that exact there's a word for it. I can't think of the word, but yes, that very specific gang from like LA in the 90s and 80s.
Yeah. And and the guy shows up. What's your problema, Sashi? You touched my car, man. And then Cobra's like, it's bad for your health. And he's like. What's that, pinche? And he takes the magic because they had a toothpick out of his mouth. Then he rips off his shirt.
Yeah, no, it works. It's hilarious. And then when he comes back later, they're all like, he parks real quick and like, how you doing?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Hey.
They're all nice.
With that Gloria Estefan music. Working too hard.
Yeah. I mean, the music. We'll get to that in a minute,
All right, so let's try to focus our conversation because I could just, suck this movie's dick all day. But what is it about Cobra you love the most?
Like, I think what I love about it is that it's so pure and it's cheesiness, and it really is trying, and there's like fun cheesiness. Yes, because it's a cheesy movie, but it's so authentic in what it's doing that I love it. It's like it's funny, but it's cool. And it has moments where, like, I think it's a great action movie, and it's a fun 80s thing. But then then it has like this ridiculously like corny music of like Bridget Nielsen photo trafficking in front of fucking robots for like 8 minutes.
Whoa!
What?
Corny music? Angel of the City.
We'll get to the music, John. I have a section we're saving for the end.
Dude, there's nothing corny about beautiful ladies' music.
All right, we'll get to the music.
I'm gonna find you.
I'm saying that the reason I like it, I feel like they really tried to make something, and I don't think it always lands, but I like that it doesn't. I think it's actually a better movie because it's kind of all over the place. Because it wants to be a horror movie, and the directing's weird and dark. Then it's just like an action movie, and then it's like 80s cheese. But it's all tied together by them developing the hell out of one note character to be the coolest person of all time. And like I said, my big thing is this is a really fun movie that I enjoy because I wanted more. If anybody should have a sequel, it should have been Cobra.
Yep.
And I don't want another horror movie. I want him being, I don't know, in the Himalayan mountains shooting smugglers or some shit. Like I want this guy just traversing. I want him to be my 80s cheesy Indiana Jones who just shoots his way out of problems and just talks. Like he doesn't care. Like he's
I wouldn't
so cool.
I wouldn't go that far, but
yeah, but you know what I'm saying though. He should have been an adventurer.
And I know that was Stallone's intent to, you know, Dirty Harry for the 70s and Cobra was for the 80s or, you know, early 90s. So he would have been that kind of cop, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have followed it. I would have followed Cobra in other films for sure. And, you know, and they said the movie tanked, it underperformed, but no, actually did pretty well. It just didn't do as well as Rambo 2. And that's what Stallone was trying to create. And, you know, create a Rocky, an enduring character. He created John Rambo, an enduring character. He tried again with Lincoln Hawk and Over the Top, didn't fly. Tried again with Cobra, didn't fly. But Cobra made money. It didn't tank. It made money.
Was
but
it
just
his
not
choice?
as much money as Rambo 2. That's all.
Was it his choice not to continue? Because even on VHS, I assume this made more money, you know, because VHS was like kind of popped up some things.
I'm not sure, so I'm not going to talk out of my ass. I'm not sure why they didn't do another sequel. I saw on his Insta, he's hinted at it now, but I think it's personally too late. Might be too late, unfortunately. But Cobra as is, I'm just going to share with you guys and Dolls and you, Lance, of course, as to why it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It mixes two of my favorite genres, which are horror and action. Actually, they are my two favorite genres. They're not they are my two favorite genres. The action scenes are fucking amazing. The scene in the opening, the car chase. My favorite action scene, which I wish actually would be pushed further, is when he's in the back of the pickup truck and he's shooting all the bikers. And there's the music by Sylvester Levay. Come on, for a young man, a young boy. You know, I don't know how old I was when that came out, but wow, this is like fucking amazing. Or even the scene in the when they're at the hotels and right before that truck scene, and the bikers come and he's just like fucking everybody up, grenades. That like cool ass fucking Jagmatic machine gun.
I actually pulled it up because it's so cool looking. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's Jagmatic. It's like SMG.
Just the sound it makes, it's like a melody. It's melody to my ear. That scene too is a great action scene. And horror-wise, actually, this is a unintentionally funny bit for me from Cobra. Those assholes and hey, you know, I was gonna hang out in a fucking parking lot.
Like, that's work. People aren't getting paid. They're doing this after work. You know, it's like what the fuck? It's like a class. It's like, okay, it waits.
Bling, bling. You're like, all right.
There's only 4 people there. Nobody's watching. It's like, what are we doing here? Yeah.
But in the initial cut, there was more. You know, they were actually in the initial cut. They would explore all these people like in their day jobs and shit like that. You know, and then at night, you know, they have their little, you know, bromance fucking meetings and gling. It's
a cool idea, though. Let me just say real quick, and I wrote it down. I like that the cult, this murder cult, like is infesting society. Yeah. Like they're in the you know, obviously they're one of the cops and they're doing more. But I like that idea. That's a very cool story idea to be, you know, be half of an action movie. Because I'm like, oh, I like that. That's kind of scary.
Action, horror, like the scene in the hospital is straight out of Halloween 2, but better directed, in my opinion. Way more suspense. And then there's, you know, the humor, organic humor. One line in Cobra, which I still use to this day when somebody gets agitated with me. I said, you know what your problem is, man? You're just too violent. You should, you know, look into natural things. Eat prunes, you know. He says that to his partner, you know, who's also the partner in Dirty Harry, by the way. That was one of the connections.
Oh, I never
Dirty Harry. The other connection was Andrew Robinson. Andrew Robinson played the serial killer in Dirty Harry. So, yeah.
I remember that.
So the humor and much to your dismay, like, you know, I'm a bit older than you, just a little bit, but the music is fucking amazing. From the score by Sylvester Levay is
score's good.
Hobbs.
Yeah.
And music wise, there's 2 tracks that I love, which is "Feel the Heat." Feel the heat. When no, that's "Feel the Heat."
montage. Yeah, I know the
And
montage.
"Angel of the City," which is a montage where he's like questioning perps, intercut with Brigitte Nielsen and her stupid long legs, doing her thing. For me, I have the LP of Cobra from when I was a kid, and I would listen to those two songs
What you love, man.
over and over, man. And they're great 80s songs, pop rock songs, if you will. So "Angel of the City" was my favorite. Which one was your favorite? Not you, them.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
You like nothing. You're a piece of shit, so fuck you.
yes. Comment on your favorite song from Cobra. I mean, I bet that yeah. Well, I'm not gonna talk about the music yet, but I agree. The one action scene though that you didn't mention that I really liked, that I thought was a really cool stunt, is when he drives the car to the second story of the parking garage.
Oh yeah, the car chase. Yeah, I didn't mention the car chase.
That part was very it's a good chase, but that part is that.
And I love the killers are driving. They're saying he's crazy. I love that shit. Like you're a serial killer, but you're not Cobra, bro.
Yeah, because he's a loose cop.
Oh, is he ever, man? Is he ever? I mean, the opening, with the "In America there are blah 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 rapes."
That's a cool, that's very Reagan era, exactly. And has a gun. It's like
bullet comes through the screen, bang, bang, bang.
It's a cool. That's how you open a movie, man. I was like, okay, there we go.
You got me.
There we go. Yeah.
And last but not least, I know I'm like on fire right now, but the macho one-liners. He goes, "You want to talk, Amico? Let's talk. I'm a sucker for a good conversation. I don't want to talk to you. Bring in the TV cameras." Can't do that. Why not? I don't deal with psychos. I put them away. I'm no psycho. I could repeat every line. I'm a hero in the new world. You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Yeah, I'm the cure.
So, the macho one-liners, we mentioned, this is where the law stops and I start. Sucker.
Fucking long pause. I love it.
Or, you have the right to remain silent. I mean, come on, man. What else? For anybody watching this who's a child of the 80s, who loves action movies, who loves horror movies, this is it. This is all of it in one movie. And it's just pure cinematic fucking gold. And that's it, dude.
Great. And I put great ending lava fight in the factory because that's always awesome. The one-liners are cheesy. That 20-second pause between Sucker, I think, was the best twist I've ever had in my life. Character actors. So one character actor I'd like to mention, because he's come up a lot lately in everything we watch, is Art LaFleur. And I'm just going to say this.
Great fucking man.
I love that man. And I've always thought about it, but then I looked at, okay, he's McNulty. He's always going up and down the line, right? He's the Babe. He's Scandal. He's the MP from fucking MASH. The pharmacist from The Blob. It's like, God bless that man. Because he showed up every time and he always nailed it. And it's just cool. He's just that kind of grumpy old guy that just didn't have time. I'm like, I like that character type, because in my heart, I'm the grumpy old man that I just don't have any time, If you can't have fun with this, then I don't think we're on the same wavelength of fun. Like, I can understand why people wouldn't like this. And it's just like, okay, but
I don't.
But you're the person that, like, I know you exist and we could probably be nice to each other, but like, we don't understand and comprehend life in the same fashion. Like, if this is not fun to you, be safe, be nice, make sure you lock your doors. And I got nothing else to say, because I really, the only thing, man, I'm going to say this, that I have 2 beds. I have a section. You have
bads. You have negatives. All right.
Yes. 2.
Hear that. Yeah.
Brigitte Nielsen is bad. She's bad. I didn't remember her. I never thought she was amazing, but I thought she was fine in Beverly Hills Cop 2 and what else I've seen.
Rocky 4. Rocky 4.
But she's bad, man.
And
her line delivery is like, it's almost like they told the line right before they said, like, action,
What's the zombie squad? Damn, forgot my bag.
I didn't think she was bad, really. I thought she was all right.
This time it just seemed worse. It just seemed she was like reading the line.
But she's miscast. She's miscast. I think she's miscast. And of course, Stallone was banging her at the time.
I didn't like her. I mean, she came off worse this time. But I mean, I don't really care, because her I hate to be that guy, but
peripheral character.
Yeah, she's the damsel in distress. That's her character. Yeah. Love it or not, that's the angle they go for. One of the best parts, though, and I could tell that times would change, because after the photo shoot, her photographer is like, "Hey, we should sleep together. And she's like, I'm not interested. She's like, hey, listen, it'd be good for your career. I was like, oh man, this guy's just essentially like, it'll be good for you. Let's have sex. It's like, oh shit.
That's not a new concept. I mean, that's an old concept. You know,
No, but they actually just, the dialogue was so pragmatic and so
like it's normal. Yeah,
it was. Normal, I just thought it was hilarious because it wasn't like, hey, we should get a drink sometime. He's like, if he goes, we should sleep together. It'd be good for your career. I'm like, oh. And last but not least, the only negative I have is the score is good, but the songs I put specifically, songs are dog shit and doesn't fit the idea.
What? Name me one song that's dog shit.
The montage song, both montage songs, and the song at the end.
My two favorite songs in the movie, basically.
Yes, of course. Okay. I mean, listen, it is what it is, buddy. But that last song, the fucking song that plays while he's driving the motorcycle, I was like, what's going on? What is this a fucking joke? Did I get a wrong copy?
Down. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's not my favorite ending song, but
it's just like
all right.
And it's just, I was like, is this the boss or something?
It sounds like the boss wannabe.
This is your vibe. So I mean, I'm not gonna say they're bad.
Angel of the City and Feel the Heat are awesome 80s pop rock songs. You're wrong. I'm right. All the best. I mean,
they're rough.
Love and
they're
kisses.
rough. I was just like, oh, I was just gonna keep coming back to modeling in front of the robot the entire time. It's like,
dude.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, you love what you love. You love what you love. And I'm not gonna say they're bad songs. I'm saying they're bad songs for me. That's all.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
Completely, I don't think they fit the horror action theme. It was the only part of the movie that was just like,
yeah, but it's an 80s action movie, man.
I'm just saying, there's you could have got some like some metal, I don't know, but
do you like out of curiosity, being that we're eternalizing on the music, but do you like the music in Rocky IV? Hearts on fire, or there's no easy way out. So you don't like the music in Rocky IV?
No.
So there you go. So, dude, there's no point in continuing this conversation.
No. There's not.
Any
we're on the same page.
Child of the 80s knows that the Rocky IV score is one of the best fucking score and songs ever created in the 80s. All right. You know what? Let's stop with the music. But I have one last question, just out of morbid curiosity. You've seen the original Top Gun, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the Kenny Loggins song Danger Zone?
I mean, it sounds like a parody. I think it's funny. No, I don't. I would never listen to that. No, I would never put that in my car.
All right, that's it. We're done. Let's move on. So, any last words about Cobra?
I'm sad I didn't get a sequel, but I am happy to know that this does have some sort of legacy. I will always love Stallone. He was a part of my big three growing up. This is a time and place movie that I think if you could get into in some way, it is honestly the most pleasant experience. It really is a joyful old school movie that lives with its heart on sleeve, and I will always respect it for that. I think Stallone is a good person. I think he cares and hits or misses. I always see his touch, and I think that's, to me, what I respect about an artist.
Amen. Well, for me, it was a movie that meant a lot to me growing up. It really marked me to the point that, the knife in Cobra, I think I said it off the cuff or whatever, is on the Arrow in the Head website and Arrow in the Head show logo. It's the knife from Cobra. It's a movie I keep going back to all the time. It never gets old. It's definitely one of my nostalgic favorite, for sure. I think it hits all of it. I would have liked more fat, but it is what it is. I love Cobra. I'll always love Cobra, and I actually see Cobra as a rite of passage movie. So when either family members or anything have sons, they hit 13, 14, you gotta watch Cobra. It's part of life.
It warms my heart more than I can say, actually. I love that you have that. I have it myself, but it's one of those the time has come, and you pull out the old book about that's that version. I
gotta watch Cobra. There you have it. What about you guys and dolls? Are you a fan of Cobra? Have you seen Cobra? Do you agree with both of us that it's fucking awesome? Gun down some comments below and let us know your thoughts. Can you imagine if Cobra within this social climate would come out today? Oh my God.
It couldn't exist.
Oh my God.
No, it couldn't exist.
Cancel.
Well, it wouldn't make it to the page, is what I'm saying. It couldn't exist. It's just what I love about life so much is that everything is dictated by time and place. And so all life is eras. And like, this was a beautiful era. And I'm glad that
Yeah.
I'm glad that I got to be alive in an era, or at least aware of an era like this, because it's long gone. And I don't want Cobra now. Like, I want Stallone doing it, awesome. But if anybody's like, oh, let's remake Cobra, I'm like, no.
I would kill to have a
We're
movie
good. We're
like
good.
Cobra come out now and just shake shit up.
It wouldn't even make it the page.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'll see you soon, buddy. Be safe. And
Yeah, you got it. It's empty, as a wise man once said.
so I gotta stop, buddy. But yes, I'll see you soon.
You got it. Later, guys and dolls. Later, my man. Angel of the city.